There it is. Da, 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 da. All right, y'all. Let's get through our lovely data disclaimer and the next one. And I will pause us there for a second. And we are indeed going to be closed on Monday in observance of Veterans Day. So thank you to all our veterans, first and foremost, for your service. Second, please make sure that you know how to get into the office, you have your code working, and all that good stuff if you will need access to the building on Monday. Otherwise, business as usual, and celebrate you if you are a veteran and give gratitude to your people in your database as well. I would like to, you can go to the next one, Ari. I will go let our gratitude moment today be gratitude for the freedom of the election cycle in the United States of America. And I will just call out any of the energy people are feeling and say, if you feel like your person won, then you have excitement and you have energy and you are, driving through this and you're feeling all sorts of goodness. And that's amazing. And then if that's the case, you should be communicating it, you should be using that energy, you should be taking action, and you should be talking to more people and causing good movements throughout your world. And if you're not feeling that, if you're feeling like that's not the outcome you were hoping for, and your person didn't win, then you might be feeling something else entirely. And you might need to take the day to process what that means and move forward. And you might want to think of like, how should I best use my energy going forward? So knowing that we feel one of two ways right now, I want to give gratitude to all of you and the election process and democracy in general, right? And I want to just offer a moment of, if you're feeling less than or lack because of any part of that, then how can you turn that energy into movement and goodness for you, right? And so in that case, perhaps one of the conversations we had in a mastermind today was that you want to go use the energy you're feeling and then put it towards the cause of the people who you want to help live their best life, right? And I want to make sure that that moment has all the energy it needs around it because, listen, if you're alive in the US today, you've seen a ton of stuff and you know that there's a lot of feelings going one way or the other. So we're going to respect that everyone has feelings. And I just want to say, if you need a place to put that energy, we are in the process of getting our 2025 communities going with new energy around them. And our ALC is putting new energy into it as well as our red shirts for 2025. So all of the communities, culture community, right? All of our DEI communities, which is anything women, lady leaders, we have our Black agents, we have our whole Rainbow Network, we have Chispa, our very own Sam is the head of Chispa for the state of California, y'all. So let's celebrate that amazingness. And if that's an area that speaks to you, then I can tell you November 14th, Sam is actually leading a statewide Chispa meeting on Zoom at 4 p.m. So we'll drop that link on the Facebook page. And if that's something you're feeling passionate about and called to, then raise your hand and I'll share all the communities with you. I'll put them on the Facebook page and let's have you start spearheading which one you want to drive the energy to and have your group energy go around in 2025. The reality is there's a lot of good we can do together. And CHISPA is the Coalition for Hispanic Other Things, CHISPA.
Progressive
And
action.
so, Jacqueline, were you going to answer it?
Yes, progressive action is the P and the A.
Yes, that's what I said. Exactly that. So that's Sam. So congratulations, Sam. Let's celebrate that. And there's so many other things we can do there. So I just want everyone to know, if you feel like you need a group, if you feel like you need reinforcement, if you feel like you need a calling to something, we have a ton of communities that we can use energy and drive to. And if you just want to go have fun and throw parties and be part of that, then get yourself in the culture committee as you start seeing communities talked about on the page going forward. That's coming in the next few days. Okay. And okay, go ahead, Ari. Some of you may have heard and seen that we lost our lovely Dana. And if you didn't see, I'm sorry if this is just like a shocking transition slide in this moment. Robert, I asked actually, Robert, Dana's been around entirely longer than me, and in honoring the beauty of the Metro long-standing relationship so many people have here, I asked Robert if he would just say a few words about Dana for everybody.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, we're all very saddened about Dana's passing. For those of you who did not know her or work with her, she was one of our longtime transaction coordinators. She was a very kind and generous soul who touched a lot of people here in our office. And if you worked with Dana, you knew she was truly passionate about her work as a TC, to sometimes to agents' chagrin because she would actually school them a lot in a generous way. She had a really warm spirit, very, and as I said, a genuine kindness. And we're going to deeply, deeply miss her. So I want to honor her by carrying forward the compassion and positivity that she brought into our lives every day, even though our hearts are going to be heavy as we say goodbye to her. I truly know that she's within her glory right now. And for those of you who don't know, all of our wonderful souls that were with us at one time, I know they were all there welcoming her as she crossed over to her existence. So think of Dana today as we honor her and thank her for entering our life and our world in such a way that we will all be very fondly remembering of her. So that's it. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Her son was sharing that there will be a memorial planned in December, in early December, and so we'll be sure to share that information with agents who want to attend as it comes closer. All right, training and events. We have a lot of good stuff coming up, and I want you guys, as you look at November in the calendar and look at where Thanksgiving falls and look at your business, 8 weeks from today is January 1, 2025. So as you're planning out the rest of your year and thinking, can I close one more deal this year? Yes, yes, you can. You can close more than one. Broker Bob has put together an amazing series. Robert, why don't you go ahead and tell the agents what this one's about?
So I had the pleasure of sitting in on Eason's. He's our regional tech trainers, command business or command training. And what I did was I started implementing some of the stuff that he was sharing with us. But what I found was most agents, after a certain point, their eyes glazed over. So this workshop is going to be more of a hands-on workshop where you bring in a computer. We're going to get into your command, and I'm going to show you how to sift and sort your database and do it on set up a program. So you're doing about 10 to 15 contacts a day. So it's not going to be so overwhelming. So just the quick stuff that he's shown me, I've been doing for about a month and a half. I'm going through all 2,200 of my contacts, but I'm doing for me 20 a day. And then and I'll show you in this class exactly why that's significant. And if you know the Red Book, the 4 laws of lead generation is build a database. That's the very first law. And if you're not, you are in business to build your database. And with us, it's command and it's part of your tech package. So I hope, and it's a drop in, so you don't have to be, you can be any level. But what I want you to come in with the workshop is to have your command ready and have all your phone contacts imported into your database. That's it. So it'll be
That's going to be
weekly.
amazing. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
every week at 11 o'clock in the training room.
So
And
that's
if
what I want.
Nikki's on the phone, Nikki was one of my first test cases, and she's been doing it. She's like, "Oh, this is easy." So we got her doing the same type of program.
That's amazing. Ask Nikki for the validation. And what I want to make sure everyone hears is two things. One, it's weekly on Wednesdays. That doesn't mean don't go because you can go in the future. It means if you can't go this coming Wednesday, yes, it's going to happen again. It also means you can build on the foundation and keep growing from there. So I always talk about the habit stacking, right? You can go from any level you are, you're going to advance. So it is for everyone. And you can go and take the first session and see where you are and then build from there. You do not need a special invitation. This is your special invitation. If you get technology working for you, you will be doing more in 2025. So get your booty in the seat. And then next we have Ashley's business planning clinic, which is November 14th. That is the second time she's offering it. It is the last time it is being offered in this year. It will not be back until October of next year. If you don't have any plans between now and October of next year, then we should talk about other things. So if you didn't attend the October session, you should be attending this session. Y'all, it's free. Ashley, people pay a lot of money to go to these all around the region, all around the country. I don't want to drill that into your brain repeatedly, except I can't help it, so I will. So this is free to you as our agents internally. Get your reservation to save your seat. Get yourself in there. I don't want to give the person away. So someone I was talking to, one of our agents was like, I went last year. And I said, that's amazing. Do you plan on doing more business next year? And they're like, yes. And I was like, then you're going to want to go again and plan for it and get it all together again, right? This is something we do all the time. You keep bathing, even though you did it once before. You keep talking to people you care about, right? Business planning clinic, get your butt back in the seat. You will hear things differently when you attend. It is not the same thing exactly over again. You will hear things that you go like, that's never been said before. If Amy Bloom was not an Indian, she was on the line, she would tell you that story. It's all been said before, and yet you're hearing it differently based on where you are in your business. And the one thing I really want you to take out of it is, again, this is for you at your level. So if your level is more new and you're like, where am I going to go with it? You're going to learn how to run your business like a business because it is, and start that way the whole time. And if you're high level, you're going to learn some new nuances, something new from the economic model, and you're going to get some new tips and tricks to run your business and keep growing it like you should, right? So business planning clinic, November 14th, it is 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You will get some breaks in there. Don't worry about that. And get your scan on and click the link and make sure you're registered for it. All right, you know those, well, you probably don't know about those film strips in like elementary school. Boop, like to advance the next slide. I feel like I want that to happen. Boop. Okay, market of the moment. Everyone take your cell phone out. I know it's already in your hand and you're already texting and scrolling social media and following and unfollowing people. That's fine. We're going to actually do some work today. So there's energy in the world right now. There's things happening. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you've been an agent with us for a little while, a few years, and you were in the fast-paced market of like COVID hit and we were like, are we ever going to sell real estate again? And then we did, and then we sold a ton, and then you couldn't sell it fast enough and you couldn't keep up with it. And then we shifted and we've been masterminding and we've been talking about things. I think we've missed some tactical moments in there because your business requires different things of you now than it did before. And I'm hearing some agents say, like, well, I'm following up with my open house leads. And when I push on, like, well, how often are we following up? Turns out not really at all. We think we are. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. So today, get your phone out. We're going to send this text message out to at least 3 people in your phone. I would push you to go drop it on your Facebook page, to send it out to lots of people, to send it out to anybody you've been in conversation with. If you've been in my daily spark, I've been having you do this already. The text message is simple and it is in the moment of today. And it is, what are your real estate plans in 2025? ? Send. What are your real estate plans in 2025? ? Send. Jacqueline has dropped it in the chat. Go ahead and do that. Start taking action or don't, right? It's really up to you. You're going to want to start to take action if you want to close more business and have more deals. And the reality is everyone thinks something today. And some of you might be like, oh, that feels crass, or that feels, take your feelings out of it. I posted it on my Facebook page. Some people are telling me they want to move to another country. Some people told me they're going to save so much in gas and groceries they want to buy vacation homes, right? Some of them might be sarcastic, some of them might be serious. Either way, it's making conversation, and that's your job as a real estate agent, to find out what people want to do. So, what are your real estate goals in 2025? What are your real estate plans in 2025? Have conversations and get tactical in your business. Getting into action will get you more business. KW Cares, these beautiful slides that are up on the page right now. We are consistently accepting donations for KW Cares to help out with all the Hurricane Helene efforts. I want to have a different conversation right now, though. And that is our goal is to get you, like, you may or may not have money to contribute to charity if you're not closing business, right? That's a you thing. That's your finances. Business Planning Clinic will talk about that. But that's a you versus you. You might have other charities you're contributing to. My ask is this. When you're closing transactions, all you have to do is ask Ariana or Nancy, what's the form I need to fill out? What button should I be clicking? So that when I close my next transaction, I'm contributing to KW Cares. You guys, $5. I don't like $5 times 180,000 agents is a lot of money, right? If you're moved to do 6 or 7 or 10 or 20 or whatever it is, great. That's amazing. You can sign up for transactional giving right now, today, through our team, and they'll click the button and you can denote the amount you want to be giving when you're closing business. And although I'm not a CPA, I can tell you when you make charitable contributions, it does count on your taxes in some efforts. So, KW Cares is here for us. We're going to talk more about it going on, not today, because so many of our agents have had so much. There's agents right now in our office that are getting use of KW Cares. It's a constant thing. There is always need, either personal and close in, or because of disasters, fires, floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, etc. Right? So I just want to make sure I'm always shining a light on this. Today's not the day that I'm going to tell sappy stories and cry because it's going to come way too easily. So that'll come another day, but I will go there and share more about that. And I just want you to understand transactional giving only comes when you're closing business, and then the $5 or whatever it is comes out of your closing money. It is literally that simple. For somebody like me who's not currently closing, I just signed up to give $25 a month, and like magic, $25 a month comes out of my account, and that's how I give to make a difference. No one has to feel like they need to be a hero. Everyone just has to do a little tiny bit to make it meaningful. And we could imagine between what happened in Hawaii and what happened with all the hurricanes, and Lord knows we don't want a fire season in California. And yet, KW Cares is always there to take care of us, so we want to be there to take care of it. Okay, I'll step off my soapbox now. Thank you. Jacqueline, do you want to talk about escrow partners?
You know I do. If you have not been down the hall recently, you should take a little walk. Walk past the bathrooms and then keep going. And then the next door on your right is going to be the escrow partners suite. So Nicole and Christine are officially there. Go in, see them even before you're opening escrow. They're there to help you with net sheets, with pre-opening escrow. They are totally there to support you. And I wanted to let you guys all know that they are now on our floor. So please drop in, please say hi. They would love to see you. And we would like to recognize an agent. Deb Brown, congratulations on your escrows. We are so excited for you and your business, and we are honored to be in business and working with you. And you did a great job. So congratulations, Deb.
Nice. Congratulations, Deb. Alicia.
Hello. I wish we had a picture right there because Misael closed his first escrow. So that's awesome. He's in launch with me. And then, of course, we have Sam and Yanni who closed escrow with another buyer. And if you remember from like 2 weeks ago, I said they were getting into escrow and their buyer happened to be their lender. That's this one. They just closed with their lender. So that's amazing because lenders get plenty of opportunity to work with so many realtors, and they chose Sam and Yanni.
That is amazing. Who do I have in my romper room here from Movement Today?
I think that would be me.
Hello, Eddie.
You guys doing? Good to see your faces, or at least a couple of you guys are opening up your cameras. Everyone's hidden in here. I didn't realize there were so many people until I went to go send a message. I was like, oh my goodness. Once the Fed announced that they were going to be lowering rates, and they did lower rates, what happened to rates? They went up, you guys, and actually they went up again right after this election. As you guys have noticed, I'm sure, the NASDAQ hit an all-time high, the Dow hit an all-time high, The S&P 500 hit an all-time high today. Rates are spiking again today. And why is all this happening? Because everybody knew if Trump got elected, we're going to have inflationary pressures in the market again. And what does inflation mean? It means that prices of goods go up. But it also means that prices of assets go up, you guys. And what's the biggest asset that anybody owns? It's their house. And that price is going to continue to go up. Exactly, Jacqueline. So look at least we know now what's going to be happening for the next 4 years, and we don't have that question mark in place anymore. But the time is now to lock in that price, y'all. And if you're not having this conversation with your clients and explaining to them the bigger pressures that are on the economy and the bigger pressures that are on the housing market with such little inventory and so much inflation out there, you're not doing them justice. Because they're going to miss out. They're going to continue to miss out. And what was 5 years ago, just because they missed out back then, doesn't mean that 5 years from now, looking back, they're going to feel like they missed out again because we didn't have that conversation with them and pointing this out to them. So the opportunities are there. I've been finding a lot of success in really helping people grasp the numbers and have a firm understanding of the numbers. I know, unfortunately, a lot of loan officers, they don't dive as deep as we do into our mortgage cost analysis reports with our clients and really break it down and go through everything line by line so that they understand not only the upfront cost, but what's it going to cost me from a month-to-month perspective? And what's that true cost of ownership at the end of the day, right? After you start doing your taxes and getting the money back and being able to write off the interest, write off that those taxes that your property tax that you're paying on the house. And having a good formal understanding of that, it helps people get over a hump, you guys. And that's something that we do differently. So please, if you're not having this conversation, please, 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 if you're not comfortable having it, I will gladly have it with them. Just let me know and we will help them out with that. And then one little piece also to let you know, add a little bit of value to your day. Movement does have our own down payment assistance program, you guys. 3.5% of down payment assistance, 1.5% we can help for closing costs. We've eliminated a lot of the barriers with these down payment assistance programs. So there's no income limits anymore. There's no sales price limits. We can go to scores down to 600. We can add co-signers to them, and they don't have to be a first-time home buyer, y'all. So if you have someone out there that needs a little bit of extra help because it's not easy to save money in this market, let us know. We can help. We're internal programs, not just state and city programs. So that's my 2 cents for the day. Hopefully that'll help you guys get some more business, and love y'all.
That sounds like everyone who writes back with an answer to what their real estate plans are in 2025 should get connected to a lender to talk about how they could save more money in these different programs you offer and get pre-approved and moving now while we know what's actually happening. Because that is the one thing Eddie just touched on. And it's like, well, what's going to happen? Nobody ever knows what's going to happen. And in my Daily Sparks, I'm talking about the predictions that were happening and the prediction and then what actually happened and how often they're just not in sync. So what you want to do is get your people into movement now, get people into conversations today, because today we know what's happening, right? And if somebody didn't buy 4 and 5 years ago versus today, I mean, how much equity did they already lose out on? It's wild. All right. Thank you for that. Broker Bob, take it away.
Broker update. Hey, I want to make a big pitch for next week's team meeting. It's the risk management portion, and they're also going to have, it's not verified yet, but we have lunch prior hosted by Hawthorne Albatross. But next week, what I want to talk about is I'll be talking a little bit about steering and what that means in today's post-NAR world, and what the biggest concern in the industry is right now in regards to what can steering be. Steering is where you might have clients look at certain properties compared to other properties, and it could be because you know whether or not that there are concessions being made for buyer broker payments, and that's the biggest concern in the industry. And we know that there are probably the secret shoppers and attorneys out there. So we're going to go in depth on that. So please, please, please come to that meeting next week. Plus, we'll be talking a lot about the post-NAR standards of practice. As we have moved into this, we're 3 or 4 months into it. Now we're seeing how things are evolving. So please show up. And then before I pass it off, who do we have on this team meeting today that hasn't really been on a team meeting in a long time? Can we get a shout out to Miss Perez? Even though we have announced that she's in our office, if you haven't been into the office, please come into the office and scare the heck out of her, because that's what she loves to have done. She loves to be scared. So I don't know where she is. I can't see her on the screen because I'm not looking, but Nancy, can you say hi to everybody?
Hi everyone. I'm very excited to be back. Don't listen to Bibi. He just wants to get you in trouble. I actually do not like getting scared.
We have a lot planned. All right,
Oh
back
my
to you,
gosh.
Sarah.
How did I forget? I was so ready to throw out all the Nancy love when the meeting started, and I was completely distracted by all my post-it notes next to my computer screen. Y'all, if you haven't seen the video of Ashley welcoming Nancy back into the office yesterday, and you don't know all the work that went into making that dream a reality, just ask for the video. It is a beauty to be seen. Let's just say that her scream was so loud that security came up to the building up to our floor to make sure everything was okay. For better or for worse, it's just what we do. 3 years of scares coming at you, Nancy. That's what Alicia said. In all reality, I remember the day that Nancy was like getting her orders to go to Singapore, and it was super deep COVID time. And it was like, all right, well, 3 years you'll be back. And so, like, let's just go through it. And I know sometimes it might have felt interesting or different to be like, our MCA, our director of operations, our queen of all things fashion, is halfway around the world, but she's back and 3 years have come and gone. So, welcome home, Nance. We love you so much. Thanks for that, BB. I would feel like a real dope if I let that meeting go by and didn't talk about Nancy's return. Property pitches. Anybody have anything that they're itching to share with the group? Or else we can say post it on Facebook and we will get to our main feature. Speak now or forever. Hold your peace. Press the heart, the hand raise, the rocket ship, anything else. I have seen y'all using the coming soon and off market spreadsheet a little bit finally. That's refreshing. Remember, that's coming soon and off market. So it's both. So get your properties in there so you can get a cutting edge ahead on what's coming up in the market. Ari, let me just pause right there for a moment before we get Ryan to the table. And I want to say there's coming up, in addition to the texting and what's going on and really getting more tactical, the rest of this week on Daily Spark, you're going to hear 4 steps to double your business in 2025. Each step is a really tactical moment in how you need to be facing the market, facing the facts, talking about reality versus media nonsense, and getting your people to make movement happen to get their best deals now. Well, we know it's possible. So I just want to say that out loud right in this moment. 4 steps to double your business in 2025 coming up. And that's our goal, to keep you growing in that realm. We have Ryan here, and he reached out and said he would absolutely be so happy to offer an amazing session for y'all for free, and talk about farming and getting into your database. So Ryan, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Just want to make sure I can share my screen. Perfect. Can everyone see that okay?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right. Well, this is normally an hour's training session, so I've condensed it. So I'm going to go fast and quick and go through this. So hold on for the ride as we go through this. So we'll go through who I am in just a second, and we'll talk about what we're going to talk about. We're going to be sharing why I'm sharing this, what you can get for $100, how to get started, what I would do, and what's next. So there's a few of you in here. So can I get your agreement to participate today? I'm going to ask a few questions. So if you want to drop in the chat, just say yes, you're going to agree to participate. Yes. Okay. Because of the time, we won't participate too much, but I normally want to get you to participate. So we got some people saying yes. Awesome. All right. Also, stick around. We're got a special bonus for you at the end, so make sure you stick around for that as well. So let's just jump right in. I'll share who am I and why I'm here. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Smith. I have spoken for your office in the past a couple times. It was been almost 2 years ago, I think, when I was doing the last training. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Ryan Smith. I'm the creator of Launch Your Farm training programs. I'm the host of the Launch Your Farm podcast as well. I am a speaker, trainer, and coach. I am a licensed agent myself. I don't currently really sell that much real estate. I usually refer to my partner, Nikki. She takes care of the day-to-day stuff, and I focus on the coaching and training side of my business. I've moved 4 times in my career, and I share that because I've had to pack up and learn my business completely from scratch 4 different times. I got started, I was brand new to the business, moved 3.5 hours away, moved again, had to start all over again, moved again, had to start all over again. And about 3 years ago, we moved back to my hometown and had to start my business. And I've learned along the way how to get quick results, how to grow a business effectively. And I've used that as part of my training. I was also a past productivity coach. I am with Keller Williams myself. So I've been 13, almost 14 years with Keller Williams. I was the office productivity coach. And through that coaching and training with other agents, I learned what works and what doesn't work. I applied that to my own business, and I ended up starting a farm with an old business partner. And we launched that farm in an area I'd never sold before because I was new to the area. I had no experience, and I got started with that. And we ended up doing 17 transactions in 15 months from a brand new area. And it's based on the strategies I teach, and it's based on the approaches that I've learned along the way. And I'm going to share some of the stuff with you today. So that's just a bit about me. So I'm going to share how this whole training got started and why I'm doing this. So it was about a year and a half ago. I was in a Facebook group, I'm sure like many of you are, and I saw a post like this, and someone said, if I had $100 a month to spend on marketing, what should I do with it? And the responses were very disturbing and very upsetting to see the responses that people said. People were telling them they should quit. This is ridiculous. Leave the business, burn your money, give me the money, spend it on drugs, spend it on whatever. I was very bothered that the negativity that came out of it, and hopefully it's none of you guys that are that negative, but what happened was I noticed that a lot of people are getting discouraged by this because there was someone who was genuinely asking, how do I get help? I have a small budget and I want to be able to make a difference. So I ended up creating a plan, and I put together a plan, and I literally went month by month, and I said, on month 1, here's where I'd spend $100, month 2, so on. And I literally laid out 12 months of this. And I took this and I think share. Someone's there's unmuted. If you can mute yourself there, please. That'd be awesome. So I literally laid out the whole plan, and I got amazing feedback. People were so thankful. They were like, this is amazing. This really helped me reshape how I see farming and what's possible. So I turned that into this training session for you. And again, I'm going to go through quickly because we don't have a whole lot of time, but I want to start with why I'm sharing it. First is I want to save you from bad advice. So if you've gotten that advice before, if you've been in those Facebook groups, if you've talked to other agents and they told you not to do these things or don't waste your time or spend your money on other things, I want to save you from that bad advice. I also want to encourage you. I jumped on the call earlier and people were talking about thinking positively. I want you to think positively about what you can do with this. And I want you to come out hopefully encouraged by the end of the session. Also, I want to save you some money because maybe you've tried things before. Maybe you weren't sure what to do. Maybe you've wasted money on different strategies and things in the past. And hopefully by being smart with your money, you're going to be able to save some as well. And ultimately, my goal is to change your perspective on what geographic farming is and what you can get from it. A lot of people have misconceptions on what they think farming is or what the possibilities are. So I want to really help you reshape that and fine-tune what you can get. So normally I ask people to answer these questions, so I'm just going to tell you some of the answers. So I ask usually what people could spend $100 on, how they could easily go out and drop $100. So I'm just going to give you a few today. You could easily go out and spend $100 on a pair of shoes. I'm sure you agree. Do you agree? Drop a yes in the chat. You could probably spend $100 on video games or entertainment for your kids. You could easily go out, spend $100, not even think about it. You could go out for a date night. Probably go out, spend some, depending on where you live. I know you guys are in California. It's probably very expensive. Where we are, it's pretty expensive as well. You could easily drop $100 on dinner, not even think about it, and the money's gone. I'm in Canada. I think California has pretty high gas prices as well. You could easily drop $100 on a tank of gas and not even blink twice at it. So you could easily do that, and you could easily spend $100 on an outfit. And I know it's very easy to drop $100, not even think about it, and then you buy something, you don't even wear it, gets stuck on a shelf, and you've spent the money and didn't realize it. So I want you to think about, instead of just spending that money on frivolous things or things that are okay or fleeting things, what if you invested that $100 into your own business? What if you took that money and reinvested it? If you did it right, you could get a lot of great results. So I'm going to share kind of 3 secrets to getting the most from your $100. So we'll set the frame by starting with that, and then we'll talk about how to build a foundation, and then we'll jump into the strategies right away. So the first thing is we need to create a foundation and add building blocks. So we'll talk about the foundation in just a second. And each month is a building block. So we're going to build off of each strategy and layer on top of that. we also have to think outside the box. For most agents, they may have been taught one way, maybe they think a certain way about this business or how to do this business, and they maybe not think outside the box. So in order to make this work, you're going to have to think outside the box and think differently. And again, my goal here is to really help you reframe that and think differently so you can think outside the box to get those results. And lastly is we don't want to put all our eggs in one basket. For a lot of agents, they put all their strategies into one thing. They try postcards, or they try online marketing, and then it doesn't work. They get upset, they get frustrated, and they give up. So we have to make sure that we're not putting our eggs in one basket so that we can spread out what we're doing and start to see what gets results and what doesn't get results. So if that makes sense, what we want to do is then start with a foundation. When we have that solid foundation, we can start to build on that. And in order to make this foundation work, there's 2 key steps that we need to have. And the first is we have to have a desire to succeed, and we have to have the time to work it. And if you don't have those 2 things, I tell people you might as well just get off the call. If you're not willing to do the work to do it and don't have the time to do this, you can jump off this call. I won't be offended. I'm not going to be upset. But in order to get success in anything, really, you need time and you need the desire to do it. So you can spend a lot of money, and a lot of people have dropped a lot of money on farming and a lot of different strategies, and they don't get the results that they want. We're going to have to put some time into this. And there's different things you need. You need time, money, energy, and resources. In this case, if we don't have a lot of money to spend, then we're going to have to make it up somewhere else. So it's time or energy or resources. In this case, we're going to make it easy for you so you don't have to spend a whole lot of time, but you're still going to have the time to invest. And step 2 is we have approximately $100 a month. So again, to make this work for the strategy I'm going to show you today, you need about $100 a month, give or take. Also, in this case, we want to start with an area of about 500 homes to work with. Now you can scale this up. If you want to do 1,000 homes, 1,500 homes, you can scale up with your budget and scale up with your time, or scale back as well. So we have to make sure that we're okay with that. So just be okay that these are the 2 things we need to get started. So I'm going to share with you what I would do. Again, this is in no way exactly what you should do because it's going to depend on your experience, your comfort level, your strategy, your skills. I'm going to share with you what I would do and how I would spend the money, and you can take from that what you will. So let's just jump right in and we'll get started. So we're going to do month by month. And as I mentioned, these are the building blocks that we're going to use to build off each other. Each one of these adds to what we're doing. And I'll kind of quickly explain how they all start adding and how they stack together so that we have a complete cohesive system. So if everyone's okay with that, let's jump right in. So the first thing I would do is create a community Facebook group. And the reason we want to do this is we want to have a place where people can come together. And if you notice, I mentioned community Facebook group. Not a real estate Facebook group, not a I'm Ryan, I'm the best Facebook group. We want to build a community Facebook group. And the purpose of this group is to bring the community that we're serving together. And what I would do is go out and take the $100 and you can get 500 postcards done. And we're going to go hand deliver and door knock with these. The key here is door knocking because we want to connect with people face to face and build that relationship. So we want to invite them to join the group. And we're going to tell them, here's what we're going to be working on. We're building a community group. Here's what it's going to be. We'd like to personally invite you out to the group. Again, for the interest of time, I don't want to get into all the nitty gritty of exactly what it says on the postcards, but the purpose of this is to invite people. And as you see all these strategies stacked together, you'll understand how this all ties together. So I would take your first month, go out and let people know, hey, I'm creating this new Facebook group. I'd love to invite you out. Here's what we're going to be doing over the next year. And I'd love to personally invite you. You can sign up. You can join the link here or scan the QR code and join our Facebook group. So that's step number 1. When you spend your $100, that's a great way to connect with people personally. You're going to start now building relationships and connecting. Month number 2, what we want to do is go out and connect with local businesses. And this is a key critical step because we want to start building relationships. And again, you'll see how this all starts to tie together and how this all works. But the key with this is we're not there to connect with local businesses to talk about ourselves. We're not there to talk about how great we are. Our goal here is to build relationships and open doors. So we want to approach some local businesses and explain, hey, we're working on this new community initiative. I'm just looking to connect with some local businesses and see how we can bring value to you and the community. Don't make it about you. Don't make it about your business. You don't even have to mention real estate if you don't want to. The key here is to start the conversation. So I would spend the $100 and I would take people out for coffee. Now, again, I don't know what the prices of living is where you guys are. But in our area, you could go to a little coffee shop for $2, $2.50 and get a coffee. So I would take 20 to 25 business owners out for coffee, or you can bring a coffee to their business. And the goal here is really to start the connection and explain that you're trying to build some connections in the community and you're trying to bring some value. So I would spend 20 to 25 days over the next month and start to go out and connect with people. You may have to try a few different people and reach out to them. But what happens, generally speaking, is as you start rolling with this, you're going to start being introduced to other business owners. You can start connecting with other people. And the key here is starting those relationships. So again, as we go through this, you'll start to see how this all starts to tie together. But the key is to, again, show up and bring value to them. Not promote yourself, not talk about how great you are. It's to show them that you've got something that you're working on that's community oriented. So those are the two kind of key starting points. Now what we're going to do is start to bring these things together. So month number 3, what I would do is a community food drive. And the reason the community food drive is so impactful and so valuable is it's very easy to run. It's very affordable. It's a great way to engage the community. It's a great way to create some actual value for the community and create a cause that, or help a cause that actually is going to make an impact. So we've done this. We're on our 3rd one this year. We're just launching it this month. And what we do is we do a porch pickup style food drive. So we don't have to have people come deliver to us. We make it as easy as possible for them. So we do a postcard. So that's where I would spend my money, is do 500 postcards, invite the community to it. And I would go door knock the area. And we invite them and say, listen, we're doing a community porch pickup. We're going to be picking up on this date between this time. If you'd like to leave the stuff on your front porch and on the front door, wherever you want to do, we'll come pick it up, and we'll be grabbing that and collecting that all on this date. The amazing thing about this is now we have an opportunity to connect with people in a different way, and it's not just about real estate. And it creates an opportunity for us to bring value again to those people, but also the community we serve. So I would choose an area or choose a cause that could use the food and now connect with them. We did this, and it is very cost effective. Nikki, my partner, she literally printed off in 1 hour. She went on Canva, created a flyer, and she had just printed on a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, did 2 of them on one side. She went out in 1 hour. She created this information. She went out door knocking for 2 nights, and it was, I think, about 2.5 hours each. So it was about 5 hours in total. We did about an hour and a half of pickup for the night of, and then an hour to drop it off. So it was all combined was less than 10 hours completed. And we added over 50 people to our database. We ended up adding about 30 people to our monthly newsletter, which we'll talk about in a minute. And we were able to bring real value to the community. It was really just a guinea pig test. We wanted to try it out to see what the response was like, and it was amazing. More than 50% of the people we spoke with volunteered to be part of that. We've since added different food drive initiatives to some of our other events. And this is something that was very easy to set up, very easy to run, and had a high impact. And now what we want to do is go back to those local businesses. So now you're going to see we're going to start working backwards. We have the food drive. We can promote it in our Facebook group and let the community know that we're running a food drive. We can go to those local businesses and say, hey, I'd like for you to be part of this. If you're interested, I'd love for you to put up a flyer in your business. If you really like the business, you feel it would be a good fit, you could even make them a food drive drop-off center so people can come drop off the food to that area. So now it's getting extra promotion, and you can be sponsored by or brought to them by, and all we ask is that they help support it. So now we're tying in the Facebook group, we're tying in the local businesses, and we're tying in the food drive. And this really starts to bring things together. The next thing I would do is a local business interview. And this is super powerful. This is something that anyone can do. It is very simple, very easy, and it's going to add a lot of value to the community as well as the businesses and your audience as well. So again, for the interest of time, I'm not going to dive into too much of this, but one of the key things that why this is so impactful is the first thing is we can now interview them and bring value to our audience. So we can now share these interviews with our Facebook group and get that out to the world. So we have content that we can use. We can also connect with those local businesses and hopefully connect with their audience. So as they get to know us and decide to work with us, they're potentially going to work and refer us as well. And the third one, which is really powerful, is that they're going to share it with their audience. And that is the key part of why this works so well. So in our area, there's a Pokemon shop. We decided to do a business interviews. We do a few of them, and we do a business interview with a local Pokemon shop. And my son loves Pokemon. We go to the shop frequently, and we said we wanted to do an interview, a little spotlight on them. And we shared that video. And we're in a small town. There's just shy of 30,000 people in our town. So it's not a big place. That video had 1,100 views on it. About 600 of those views came from that business themselves because they've shared it with their audience. So we now were exposed to a larger audience, and more people saw us and got to know our business because they were more likely to share it. And this is why it works so well, because if I just create content and share it to my audience, only my audience is going to see it, and they may get bored of it, and it may not be as interesting to them. But when we interview other local businesses, they're much more apt to go out and share it with their audience as well. So we can quickly grow our reach and get a lot more traction that way. And then lastly, the other reason why it's so impactful is we get the benefit of their expertise and their trust. So when they share it with their audience, we become trusted people in the community to their audience. And then to our audience, we become trusted because people see us as the expert for interviewing people. and I use Oprah and Larry King and Joe Rogan as examples. They're not really experts at anything except for having experts on their show. So by having other people on their shows and interviewing them, they get that trust passed on to them. So when we have these local businesses on, we get the trust from the local businesses, and then when they share it with their audience, that trust is passed on as well. So if I was to do this, I would spend the money on just three things. You don't need to spend a whole lot of money. The first thing I would do is a microphone. So you can get good quality microphones on Amazon for lavalier mic. You can get a Bluetooth microphone for around $20 to $30. So you have two microphones, one hooks into your phone, or the adapter hooks into your phone, and then they connect Bluetooth, and the quality is good, especially for the price. So now you can start doing interviews that way. So that's one thing that's really important. The second thing I would get is a tripod with a cell phone holder if you're going to be doing it on your cell phone. So again, this doesn't have to be super polished or anything like that. And you can get that for about $30 for a tripod and a cell phone holder. And then lastly, if you want to take it to another level, you could get a light just to help light things up. But really, the first two are the kind of key things. So you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. The great thing about this is it's going to help you build trust long term, and you can use that all the time. Now you can go back to your Facebook group, share the videos. When you start to build your list, you'll see as we stack these all together, you can then share your videos in different ways, and we can use these videos to help build even more trust. So again, I'm going through these real quick because we got lots to cover. The next thing I would do is a community newsletter. And I emphasize community newsletter, not a real estate newsletter, not a Ryan Smith newsletter. We want to make a newsletter that's community focused. And the key with the community newsletter is it allows us to share community information, share best things that are happening in the community. It allows us to promote ourselves in a subtle way. It allows us to then support and bring value to the community. So we can promote the Facebook group in the community newsletter. We can promote the local business interviews in the newsletter. We can promote the events that we're doing in the community newsletter and some of the other things we're going to talk about as well. So it allows us to use that as a kind of central hub to then promote other things that we're doing. A newsletter brings a ton of value when it's community focused. And our newsletter, we have almost 1,000 people getting our newsletter every month, and we have a 56% open rate. And I don't know if you know, but the average open rate for real estate emails is 18%. So we're blowing it out of the water because people like the information, they're happy to get it, they come back month after month, and it connects us to the community. We just got a listing appointment just this week from someone who's been on a report for a month and a half. He called us out of the blue and said, hey, I get your monthly newsletter, I love it. We're thinking about making the move next year. We're thinking about maybe January, February. Could you come speak with us about getting our home on the market? So it creates long-term value, and it's very powerful because it is a great way to follow up with people. It's a great way to bring value long-term. It's a great way to use as a conversion engine so that as people come in, they're going to start putting their hands up when they're ready. And you can use it to stay in touch with people and promote other things as well. So when done right, this can be very, very, very powerful. The next thing is I would run a contest. So what I would do is focus on some of the local businesses that you've already been working with and start to promote them even more. So what we did was we bought some gift cards from local businesses, and we had a contest. One of them was the Pokemon shop. And that video that I talked about, we had a contest giveaway, and we said anyone who watches the video and leaves a comment of their favorite Pokemon will be entered into a draw to win a $25 gift card. The amazing thing was they donated the gift card. We were going to buy it, so we ended up buying it anyways because we gave $25 to our son to go buy Pokemon stuff. But what we want to do is use this as a way to extract more contacts from people. We want to use this to get people to put their hands up. We want to use this to add value. The great thing is we're now, again, supporting these local businesses, and we can promote it. So you could do something like, hey, if you sign up for our newsletter, you'll be entered into a draw for a gift card, or you can use it in the next thing, which we're going to talk about in a second, and you can use it to use as a way to entice people. So I would take the $100 and get 4 $25 gift cards or 5 $20 gift cards, and you can split them up in different ways and use them to run contests and get people to put their hand up. This is a great way to get engagement and get people to put their hands up and connect with you as well. So what I would do is next month is do a community survey, and you can use the gift card as a carrot to get people to participate. What I would do with the community survey is go out and get information from people about what they love about the community, what they wish was happening in the community, their favorite things in the community, their favorite causes in the community. And you can use a gift card or the gift certificate as a way to thank them for participating. So you could do a draw. So anyone who participates in the survey will be entered into that draw. So what I would do is go out and ask those questions. Just ask 4 to 5 questions. What do you like? What would you like to see in the community? What causes do you care about? Things like that. And we're going to use this to now bring more value to the community long term. And we're going to use this for also future content as well. And if we do it well, what happens is people start to connect with us in a much different way. Rather than just being that real estate agent that's saying, are you thinking about making a move? People are connecting us to the community and then connect with us in a different level than just being a typical other real estate agent that most people think all real estate agents are the same. So now we can connect with them, have their voice heard. We can now bring value to them and use that information to bring more value long term. So what I would do next is look for a community cause that you can support. Based on some of the things you hear from the survey, you can find out what people are liking, what they're not liking, and support some local causes. And when I say support a cause, what I don't mean is just write a check and give some money for a sponsorship. We want to think differently and think how we can bring value to the community by supporting that cause to our audience. And I'll give you a quick example. In our farm, there was a Montessori school that was trying to get some attention and get people to find out about them. They were kind of tucked away in our farm. And they put together it was like a circus themed carnival in the fall. And they didn't have a whole lot of marketing and they weren't sure how to connect with the community. They were kind of disconnected. So rather than sponsor it, we said, hey, you know what? We'll promote it to our audience. All we ask is that we can set up a table at the event. We'll be there. We'll have some prizes and things like that as well. And we'll promote it to our audience if that's okay with you. And we'll call that a sponsorship. So they put our name on the sponsorship stuff as well. And we went out and promoted it to our audience. I'm sorry about that. My dog's barking. We shared it in our Facebook group. We shared it in our videos. We shared it in our newsletter. We got postcards and we went out to 1,000 homes in the area and we let people know about the event. So I would spend the money and go promote this. Again, if you can get local businesses involved and get them to promote it, you're going to take it to another step further as well. The key with this is, again, not just handing money to sponsor it, is to get people to find out about it. When you sponsor things, it just gets your name out there, but it doesn't connect people to the cause or to your business. By you promoting it and you being involved in it, now people are going to connect with you on a very different level. So find something that you can get involved with. Maybe someone's house burned down and needs some attention. Maybe there's a park that needs to be cleaned up. Maybe there's an event that's coming up or a cause that people care about that you can get people's attention on. This is a great way to help bring attention and bring value and get your name out there in a tasteful way as well. Next one is I would create a community guide. And this one is very powerful. And if we go back to the survey, what we want to do is take some of that information that people shared, the things they like, the things they like to support, the causes, things that people wish they had in the area, and we can use that as content for our guide. So I put together some things like things to do in the community, important dates, places to go, places to shop, things that are important around the community, and use this as a guide to help position you as the expert in the community. Now, the magic with this happens when you start to use it as cross-promotional materials. So what I would do is go back to those local businesses and say, hey, I'd like to work together with you. And we're going to create a community guide. I've already created it. And you're going to co-brand it with them. Each business gets their own. And all we ask is you share it with your audience. So you can mail it out to your audience. You can blast it out. You can put it on your website and get people to download it. I would spend the money and get either templates designed. So you can hire a virtual assistant. You can go on something like Etsy and buy some designs, or you can just go on Canva and create your own as well. But what you want to do is have one that's custom for each person. Everything else is the same except for the cover. And then what I would do is have a page in there that's a promotion for their business. And now you can use that and say, hey, for free, all we ask, promote it to your audience. So it's going to be community guide brought to you by your real estate team or your name and this business, and then now they can share that with their audience, and each person has their own customized one that they can now share. And now what happens is they're sharing it with their audience, but what magically happens is your information is in there, your real estate information, your ads, your things that you're promoting are in there. So now if we go back, your Facebook group is in there, the local videos that you're doing are in there, the newsletter is in there, your causes that you're supporting are in there. And again, it helps bring you to the community, and now they're sharing it with their audience. So it reaches much more people and you get a much better response as well. So this is very impactful, very valuable, and very easy to get out there and distribute to a lot of people. Next one is collaborative marketing. So by now we've been working with some local businesses and we've taken the time to help promote their businesses. Now we want to promote our business to them. So we've given. Now it's time for us to ask. And what we want to do is ask for these local businesses to help support us and collaborate and bring some marketing and some promotion to their audience. rather than just sit there and promote ourselves, we want to now get in front of their audience in a different way. So we want to collaborate with them, and it could be something like a joint venture webinar. Maybe you're doing a seminar that you got coming up. Maybe there's something that they can promote. Maybe there's some giveaways that you want to do to get in front of their audience. We've done this up to this point by helping them with their businesses. Now it's time for us to ask for their for the favors in return. And if we do that well, then they're going to want to promote us to their audience. And hopefully their audience has seen us throughout, peppered in here and there. And now we can now cross promote and collaborate. The guide is a perfect example of a cross collaboration. Now we can help them get that in front of their audience more by sharing the local videos that they've done with them, by using the community guide. We can get in front of their audience in a different way. So I don't have a way to spend the $100 specifically because it's going to depend on each business, depends on what ventures you decide to do together. But this is really important in creating stronger relationships. And anytime I meet with a local business, I always ask, how can I bring value to you? And then when I do that, in return, they usually say, well, how can I bring some value to you as well? This is the opportunity for you to really start opening up and coming up with ideas that could be great. Maybe it's a networking event you're going to do. Maybe there's some new marketing things you could try together. So each business is going to have their own kind of set of things that work and ways you can help each other. So you're going to figure that out by knowing the businesses and speaking with them about what's going to be the best fit. So chat with them. By now, hopefully you've got some relationships going and you understand what's going to bring value and what's going to be valuable for the community as well. And then I would do a neighborhood social. What we've done is we've pushed our message out there. We've gotten people to kind of put their hands up along the way, but we haven't really brought people together. By now, we've got an audience. We've got a list of people. We've got people in the database. We want to now bring people together. So I would do a very simple social. So you could do something like a food truck in the park. You could do like a cocktail hour at a restaurant. You could do like a trivia night at some place and sponsor it. That doesn't have to cost you any money because they're going to be going to the restaurant and buying their own stuff or going to the food truck and buying their own things. We want to promote the event, and that's where the money goes. So we'd spend the $100, go out and get some postcards, promote the event, and get people to be part of that. Now, again, what we want to do is go back to promoting it in the Facebook group, promoting it in our newsletter, promoting it to our audience, getting the businesses to support it, promoting it in the guide and things like that, and use that as an opportunity to get in front of more people and bring people together. So again, not just pushing your message out there, it's get them into one place. You can take it a little step further and get those local businesses to sponsor it as well. And they could maybe sponsor some food and some drinks or hors d'oeuvres, things like that. And you could take it to a next level. But the key here is really bringing people together. And when we do that, again, it brings the people together in a much different way because they're connecting on a much more personal level. Instead of just sitting there behind their computer or sitting behind them on social media or reading your email, they're going to connect with you in a much more personal way. So this is something that you can do that doesn't have to be very expensive, and it's a great way to connect with people outside into the real world. So lastly, we have Celebrate Your Wins. So by now, you've been doing this for the whole year. You've been working on all these things. Take the last month and celebrate you. Take the $100, spend it on the things you enjoy, on that bottle of wine, on that dinner out, on that new outfit, whatever it looks like, spend it on you. Treat yourself, use that time, use that money, and make the most out of it. So that's a 12-month plan. Again, this is what I would do. At the end of the day, you can decide how you're going to make this work. So at this point, you have a choice. You can go out and you can do nothing, and you can sit down and go, okay, that's a great idea. I think that'd be cool, but I don't know what to do, and then do nothing. Or you can go out and do something. And if we do something, we can take action, and that action is going to make a big difference. And at the end of the year, if you did this, if you went out and you started a Facebook group, you connect with local businesses, you created videos, you grew your database, you started partnering with local businesses, you were supporting causes, you had a newsletter, you had a community guide. If you added all these things into your business for less than $100 a month, do you think your business would be worse off than today, the same as it is today, or better than it is today? I guarantee you, if you do these things and do them correctly, your business is going to be better off than it was. So I would say, what's the worst that could happen if you did this? I guarantee you, if you did this at a high level and were committed to doing this, you can see results. I had a good friend who's farmed a little area of 280 homes and was very intentional. He spent $100 a month. There was 11 sales in that neighborhood. He ended up getting 8 out of the 11 sales in the neighborhood because he was hyper-focused, purposeful, diligent with what he did, and really connected with people. So if you do it well, you can do it at a high level. So I just want to go through a couple things that we can do to add some value to your own business, and then we'll open it up for some questions if we have enough time. So first thing is I just launched a new program. If you follow me at all and know anything about me, I've got a few programs on the go, and I just launched a brand new program called the Local Expert Agent. I would love for you to be part of this program. We just launched on Monday officially to the public. We opened it up last week to early bird. And this is a program that's designed to help you with your business implement 12 impactful strategies each month. We have a new strategy each month that we drop each month. There are plug and play systems that we've built for you. All the tools, resources, templates, scripts, guides, all of that is done each month and is done in bite-sized portions so that you can literally keep applying new elements to your business every month. So at the end of the 12 months, you've got a solid business plan. There's real-time support. So twice a month, we have live coaching calls. So you have access to me and get your questions answered. We have accountability built into it. And these are strategies that I've tested and proven in my own business and in coaching other agents. And we also have a 30-day risk-free guarantee. So if you don't like it after 30 days, I'm not going to be offended. If it's not for you, you can get your money back. So that's Local Expert Academy, and that's $99 a month. It's super affordable. I made it so that people can get in and get started with this. But I'm telling you, there's way more value than $99 a month. Everyone I've spoken with said I'm giving it away for too cheap. That's also in Canadian price as well. So you're lucky the exchange rates is super crazy right now for you guys. So it's even cheaper than that. So it's probably like $70, $65 for you guys if you do that. I promise you this is an amazing program and can change your business. If you don't like that, it's not for you. We also have a Facebook group that I run called The Expert Agent. We do live webinars. We do ongoing tips, tricks, and strategies. We're connected with other agents in that group. So I've got almost 900 agents in the group now. My goal is to get that over to 1,000 by the end of the year. I'm putting my time and attention to this group to bring value and help agents really figure out what it's like to be an expert and how to grow that in their community. So I'd love for you to join that as well. And with that, I will wrap it up and say thank you and open it up if you guys have any questions. I got it done, and I think in the time, just on time. So I went through that.
Impressive work, Ryan, for sure. I had one question I saw come in the chat to me specifically, and it was how the you got 500 postcards for $100. Where do you get that done?
We have companies here up in Canada, but I know there's companies that will do it. Like I think our postcards cost about 12 cents a piece to print. So there's a company called ePrint Fast that we use. So you'll have to look around to get postcards. What I wouldn't do is go to like the local shop. A lot of times they charge you a premium for it to be done right away. So I don't know if you guys have relationships with printers in your area. We have a few, and I guarantee you that it's probably cheaper in the States than it is here in Canada too. So you can definitely get that done for cheaper. So that's at $500, that's 20 cents a postcard. You should be able to get postcards done for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your amazing timing. I really appreciate it. I saw some great comments going on in the chat, so I'm sure you'll get some followers in your group and
Awesome.
maybe some clients as well. We appreciate you and have an amazing day. For everybody
Appreciate it.
else, remember Broker
Thank you.
Bob sessions coming up next week, and next week is broker meeting in person. Be there or be square. My email is imploded, so I just wrote on the Facebook page. If you need me, text me or DM me, because apparently Google quit me from my email. So I guess that means I get to go on vacation. Have a great day, you guys. See you.